have the latest on if The Rock will return at the Royal Rumble, and AEW pays tribute to Jay Briscoe on Dynamite. But first, WWE's UK broadcast partner BT Sport have once again got the internet talking after posting a prediction for the upcoming Royal Rumble match. BT would post a graphic on Twitter featuring 5 wild predictions for this Saturday's event, 2 of which caught the eye of fans. First, they would predict the return of The Rock, noting, "Surely this will be the year The Rock returns, wins the lot, and sets his sights on the show of shows, surely." They would then predict a huge jump from New Japan Pro Wrestling, with them anticipating an appearance from former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Switchblade Jay White, and the graphic notes, "Jay White has already conquered Japan, next stop is WWE." Adam Cole's in-ring AEW return date was seemingly revealed on Dynamite last night, as a video package would air that saw Cole open up about returning to AEW and his training to get back in the ring. The video would close with a shot of Cole looking at the logo for the Revolution pay-per-view, a clue that this will be the location for his comeback match. AEW Revolution will go down on Sunday, March 5th from the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, with it still unclear on who Cole will be stepping in the ring with. Elsewhere on Dynamite, world title #1 contender hopeful Bryan Danielson would battle Brian Cage on the next step on the road to Revolution, with MJF handpicking the Machine to take out the American Dragon. In the end, it was Bryan who walked away as the winner, but it didn't take long to find out who his next challenger will be, as MJF would take to the big screen to announce that next week, Bryan will have to take on technical expert Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher is an 18-year veteran of the ring, although he is perhaps best known for his 2-year stint in WWE on the NXT brand between February 2020 and January 2022. Now playing his trade in pro wrestling, Noah, the California bad boy, is set to make his All Elite Wrestling debut next week. This past Monday on Raw, LA Knight would find himself caught between a rock and a hard place, or a dead man and an eater of worlds, when The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt linked up to take him out in a moment dubbed as a passing of the torch. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet after the show, Knight would reveal his thoughts on the segment, as well as the aura of The Undertaker's entrance, and said, "They said last minute, alright, you guys are going to Raw. Why? Royal Rumble is coming around, we got the Pitch Black match, the Royal Rumble, all this stuff, it's go, go, go. The Undertaker was about this close to getting slapped in the mouth, I decided to spare him. You always hear the cliche, when you're standing in that ring and the bell tolls, it's chills. Well, when that some bitch hit, it was chills. It was pretty wild. At the same time, to be standing there and doing my thing and to be very recognized, that audience was right on top of everything I had to say, even with Undertaker in the ring. That's a big feather in my cap as far as I'm concerned. At the same time, looking at a guy who is undoubtedly a legend, Hall of Famer, crazy night leading into Royal Rumble." Last week on AEW Dynamite, Bryan Danielson would go one-on-one with rising star Konosuke Takeshita, with the Japanese wrestler drawing some criticism from WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Flair would take to his To Be The Man podcast after the show to call Konosuke out for his chops, a strike that the Nature Boy is known for, and said, "The Japanese young man who was chopping Bryan Danielson on his knees the other night, Takeshita, come on, those chops couldn't break an egg. If you're gonna chop somebody, God, hit them hard. It's not gonna hurt you." Whilst the comments did raise an angry reaction from some AEW fans, the humble Takeshita would take to Twitter to reply to the comments, calling for Flair to help him improve his technique, and said, "I have the utmost respect for Ric Flair. It is incredible to me that he mentioned me. I need to practice a lot as I haven't done much chopping in Japan. Thanks for the advice. I would like you to actually teach me if possible. Watch my chops grow from now on." NBC Universal are one of the names in the hat for potential buyers of WWE, with the company said to be actively looking to sell. The two companies are currently business partners, with WWE content appearing on Peacock as well as the USA Network. During the recent NBC earnings call, CEO Jeff Shell would respond to a question about potentially buying WWE, and whilst he didn't specifically address them by name, he would reveal that they are looking for bolt-on acquisitions going forward, and said, We are always looking for bolt-on acquisitions that bolster our business. We bought DreamWorks and it has been paying off steadily since our acquisition, just now with Puss in Boots, which is a big hit at the box office, and really our entrance back into the Shrek universe continues to make that acquisition look really favourable. And our Blumhouse investment over time, where we're partners with Jason Blum, and we have a big hit, Megan, this month, which is coming out of that investment. Next up, we have the latest on if The Rock will return at the Royal Rumble. For some time now, WWE fans have anticipated the return of The Rock to the promotion to confront his cousin and undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, who continues to claim that he's the head of the table of the Anoa'i family. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio last night, Dave Meltzer would reveal the latest chances of The Rock coming back to win the Royal Rumble match itself this weekend, something that seems to be increasingly unlikely as time goes on. And he would say, I think people have an idea of the Royal Rumble winner as far as it's either going to be Cody, it's going to be Sami, or they're going to bring in an outsider. Everything that's happened in the last week or so, I don't think it's Dwayne. I was told it wasn't, and all indications are it's not. Meltzer would also reveal that even if The Rock did come back, the result might be a foregone conclusion given WWE's reluctance to have the tribal chief lose his titles, and he would say, I don't know that they're willing to have anybody beat Roman Reigns. Obviously, Dwayne Johnson wasn't beating Roman Reigns to win the title. Obviously, Cody Rhodes' name was in the mix, and the way that storyline was, he almost had to win, but that doesn't mean he would have won. It was recently reported by Meltzer that Rock had told WWE that he wouldn't have time to get in the kind of ring shape that he needs to be in the main event of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns, and despite new Rock merchandise being added to WWE's shop, the appearance looks to be off the cards. And next, AEW pays tribute to Jay Briscoe on Dynamite. Hours before last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, news broke that Mark Briscoe would be making his debut for the promotion 1 week after the passing of his brother and tag team partner Jay Briscoe. Shortly before the announcement, it had been reported by Dave Meltzer that Warner Bros. Discovery were still blocking a Briscoe appearance on their network due to comments made by Jay many years ago. However, it has now been widely noted that AEW and ROH owner Tony Khan made big efforts to push through the move. On the night, Mark would take on former ROH World Champion Jay Lethal, a longtime friend and rival of the Briscoe brothers. Carrying both Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship belts on behalf of Dem Boys, Mark would enter the arena to a big pop from the crowd, meeting a teary-eyed Lethal in the ring. Briscoe would eventually come out on top after dropping his opponent with a froggy bow from the top rope through a table on the outside, before paying homage to his older brother, finishing Lethal off with a Jay Driller. The AEW and ROH locker room would then pour out onto the top of the ramp to pay their own respects as the courageous Mark Briscoe spoke of his love for his brother and his family into the camera before embracing the wrestlers and staff at the top of the ramp. Shortly after the show went off the air, Ring of Honor would then upload a 3-hour tribute show titled Jay Briscoe's Celebration of Life to YouTube and Honor Club, both free of charge, which featured matches taped after Dynamite went off the air last week, headlined by a bout between Claudio Castagnoli and Christopher Daniels. The show also featured highlights from Jay's career as well as video messages from his friends in the company. Last night was certainly an emotional one, with there likely being very few dry eyes in the arena and in front of screens at home, with the wrestling world finally getting proper closure and a tribute to one of the greatest performers of his generation. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 upcoming wrestling free agents that you need to know.